Morning, my name's Tom. I'm a primate keeper here at Marwell Zoo, and in celebration of International Primate Day, I thought you might like to follow me on my morning routine. So come along and let's look at some monkeys. They have to manipulate this large piece of sweet potato. We can present it as if it were a whole fruit that they had found in their wild habitat. So I'll have to find it, pluck it off of a tree where we have spiked it on a bamboo skewer, and then take it off somewhere that they want to eat it. And that also reinforces their social dynamic. And then around midday they will get a browse feed, which what they will have with what we call a category 1 vegetable item, in this case a romaine lettuce. Any old food or bits that are too small to be of use once we've sort of trimmed go into our waste bucket. That then goes into our general animal waste and is taken away and goes to our zoo poo power station effectively, and serves to provide energy for the whole park and thus reduce our carbon footprint. All of our diets are created in cooperation between several people. So we refer to husbandry guidelines which are produced within the zoo industry. We do our own research. So there is a member of our team, Louise again, who's our senior keeper, who does an awful lot of work and has really streamlined and modernised a lot of our diet and feed prep. So she will look at that from sort of a section standpoint and how it can work practically with us providing food for our animals. She will work with our nutritionist, Jackie, who will look at it from a scientific standpoint, our behaviourist, Danny, who will think about how we're providing food to fulfil the animal's natural behavioural needs, and our veterinary team, who will look at it from a safety perspective. This is our breeding pair of white-faced Sarky monkeys. We've got Twonk on the left-hand side and Anja on the left. They've got a juvenile called Perez at the moment, but he tends to stay outside of a morning with the golden lion tamarins, but he might make an appearance shortly. Hello, mate. Excuse me. You will see as I go through these enclosures that I'm completely the wrong size and shape for a small primate branching, but we can wedge those in. So the idea is to sort of break the association between myself and food as much as possible. Obviously there is always going to be some learning that people need food, but we want them to try and exercise as much natural foraging behaviour as possible. And then sort of same in here as next door, just distributing food around, so they have to work a little bit to try and get it. We're not supposed to really have favourites, but if anyone is, mine, it's Bob. So these guys were born a few months ago, and for the first few weeks they're just solely on mum and dad because they are allo parents. So he was actually a really good patient father and did exactly what we wanted him to. Where we feed hissing cockroaches and locusts and sort of larger leggy insects. They might wait for mum or dad to dispatch that invertebrate, and then they'll come and mop them and just take it out of their mouths effectively. So yeah, cleaning in here, we'll just do a quick poo pick of the biofloor. So we use quite a deep soil floor with a layer of gravel underneath to provide drainage, and then we top that with leaf litter and put in a load of inverts. So we're effectively bringing the outside in terms of our habitat management. and then that allows us to do some really cool stuff with their live planting inside. So we've got this fern that we've transplanted from our old tropical house when we renovated that. And you can see bits of that have died back inevitably because it's lost the root volume. But then we have got fresh growth in there, and hopefully that will grow and establish quite nicely under the lights. And we'll get a nice big live plant in the middle of the enclosure. We've done that a few other places around the park and it has gone really well. So where we do quite a lot of research into how we are keeping the species that we have here at Marwell, we look at their sort of wild environment and try to mirror that as closely as possible. The other benefit of having the biofloor is that with all the wood lice and springtails and other invertebrates that are present in the enclosure, it doesn't matter too much if you miss a few bits of poo, because they're just going to get eaten, digested and used as fertiliser by our insects. This is a thermochron or a data logger, and what that does is it sits there and passively records temperature at a predetermined interval. So I think this one will do it every half an hour, and then we check that once a week, download the data, and that will give us a really nice graph of data showing sort of daily peaks and drops in temperature, and we can then track what the animals are experiencing. Yeah, so all of our browsing species receive a browse feed every day, and that's really helped, particularly with the rough lemurs with their fecal scoring. You can give them all the lovely fresh leaves in the world, but you can't really guarantee that they're going to eat it, because like all of us, they have favourites, and apparently hawthorn and small leaf lime are not this week's favourites. The fish help to keep the water source cleaner than it would otherwise be, because even if we give our animals a nice clean water bowl inside, you'll top that up, clean it, top it up, lovely fresh clean water, and immediately they'll come outside and drink from this stream or a puddle.
And I'm outside the Brazilian guinea pig or Brazilian KV enclosure. We also have pygmy marmosets in here and some tamarins. We've made little pockets in here that we can put planting in. So the bromeliads, the tamarins and the pygmy marmosets will drink out of the middle of the bromeliad just like they would in the wild. And then we've got some other little inch plants here and some crocodile ferns, but they do need to be sprayed a couple of times a day just to keep the humidity up.
Lauren, I'm a animal keeper on the primates and small mammals team here at Marwell.
So you'll see that I do have the respirator mask around my neck. So when we go in with the gibbons, as gibbons are known as lesser apes, we want to be careful that we're not spreading any infectious or bacterial infections, any diseases that we ourselves might be carrying, but equally the opposite way round. So we don't want to pass any zoonotic diseases between the two that either of us could potentially be carrying and not showing any signs of. So we just take that extra precaution just to eliminate that. We also do have other biosecurity measures, such as the foot dip. So we foot dip on the way in and we foot dip on the way out. So yeah, is that just extra level of protection for both us and the gibbons as well.
Can literally spread them out, then we'll find them with ease. You don't need to put them in a pile, they will be able to find them, and it just extends the amount of time that they spend foraging for the bugs themselves. bugs will dig down into the leaf litter and stuff, so then the gibbons have to come in and have to dig all through the leaf litter to try and pick up all the individual bugs. So it just extends their feeding time as well.
Feed them browse throughout the day, well, one of their feeds in the day. Although they do have established planting in their enclosure, such as this big lime tree, we do provide them different bits of browse every day, so it rotates round. Also decided to give them a little treat, so some roses for them, which they really love, so hopefully they find them and we can get some nice footage of them. So we'll see if she finds it. Two gibbons in here, they're both brothers. So we've got Rosh, who's at the front, who's just picked up that bit of hazel there. And you've got Hell Bop, we will call him Boppy. He's the one at the back. He's actually the older individual.
One in there. So in here we've got our ringtail lemurs. We've got our red-bellied lemurs, who's round here. And we have our crown lemurs, which are up there. And at the moment we're giving them their lettuce, which they love.